Concentration camps are here already in U.S. These are detention facilities for political prisoners and members of national or minority groups who are imprisoned for purposes of state security, exploitation, or punishment, usually by executive decree or military order. In the United States, the question is no longer whether the federal government will imprison Americans for violating its mandates. Of course, there are anti-vaxxers, as well as vaccination requirements, immigration, gun rights, abortion, healthcare, criticizing the government, protesting election results, domestic terrorism, and so on. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, is involved because this as a quarantine and isolation facility for communicable diseases such as cholera, diphtheria, infectious tuberculosis, plague, smallpox, yellow fever, viral, hemorrhagic fevers, severe acute respiratory syndromes, flu that can cause a pandemic, and measles. Furthermore, the CDC states the following: federal isolation and quarantine are authorized by executive order of the President. In other words, current President Biden can begin to send everyone who violates his COVID-19 edict to those concentration camps. He'll name them isolation or quarantine facilities or something similar. However, this is or will not be confined to anti-vaxxers, but to anyone designated as a domestic terrorist. These are the domestic terrorists, who are potential enemies of the state. Forget about the real terrorists in the Middle East or wherever they are. Advocating for state rights, feeling the state is unneeded or unwanted, and conspiracy theorizing are all on the list of dangerous viewpoints. Concerns about supposed FEMA camps, opposition to war, mobilizing for economic justice, disappointment with mainstream ideologies, opposition to abortion, hostility to globalization, and weapons stockpiling. Databases containing information on domestic terrorists. It's not surprising that the federal government created and maintains such a database, nicknamed Main Corps. This database is intended to be used by the Army and FEMA when the President issues an executive order directing them to do so. The Main Corps database contains at least 8 million Americans. When the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, issued 2 studies in 2009. One on right-wing extremism, which defines right-wing extremists broadly as individuals and groups that are primarily anti-government, rejecting federal authority, in favor of state or municipal authority, or completely rejecting government authority, and one on left-wing extremism, which classified environmental and animal rights activist groups as radicals.